Well, my dears, sometimes the robbery is outrageous, and other times, like today, it's done through underhanded methods, and it's like there's a rescue that's noticeable, but not too much. That's exactly what Milero Lopez has done today from the VAR. Because to Busquets Ferrer, this seemed like a red card, and when he went to check the monitor and saw the same thing he had seen on the field, well, it no longer seemed like a red card to him. Because, of course, think about it, Busquets, think about it, Busquets, think about it. And Melero Lopez there, well, doing something that is never done. I mean, this isn't one for VAR because it's not a mistake. If he hadn't stepped on him, then you'd say you saw it wrong, a blatant error. You go to VAR to save yourself and change your decision. If he doesn't step on him, he twists his ankle badly and steps on him, clears the ball before, but these red cards are given now, these red cards are shown now, and if they're shown, since there was that terrible contact that could have broken his ankle, the decision isn't changed. Even though in today's game it can piss us off that these kinds of actions are now red cards when they didn't used to be. Yes, we can all agree on that. But what we also agree on is that these kinds of actions, if the referee on the field has already shown a red card, he doesn't change it. It's not that he doesn't change it, it's that VAR doesn't even call him. Because I insist, it's not an outrageous or even that serious of a mistake, right? But here they had to bail out the club that paid him for 20 years. The referee's boss, but please, on a crucial match day, Barca was already a man up, and this was right at the start of the second half. They were going to go a man down, which would have made it 10 against 10 with Atletico de Madrid, and then the whole picture would change completely. He didn't send him off. After the incident, he switched the red card for a yellow. Well, it's just that Barca wasn't the only team on the field, right? With one more player, and you can imagine it, Atletico were missing players and ended up bringing on 3 or 4 kids none of us knew. Anyway, they held on pretty well until the end. I didn't think Atletico would hold out that much. And he scored a goal lifting. He lifted it here with his shoulder. A legal goal. But still, I mean, the luck with which he scored it. And watch out, this Musso guy, who's not a bad goalkeeper, does something really weird. He clears it. He clears it with his chest. But are you a goalkeeper or what are you? They say it's a move that's very typical of Argentine goalkeepers. Boy, anyway, nothing. A pretty cruel match day, all in all. Because, of course, Osasuna's goal came, and with a draw, we were already screwed. But Osasuna's goal, and now let's talk about Madrid. Well, let's talk about Madrid. And about another play I just noticed now on social media, since none of the traditional media are mentioning it, which is a handball inside the box by Pablo Torre, the Mallorca player, right? That during the broadcast wasn't seen because they didn't replay it, and I realized it later on. Remember, during the live broadcast, I said we hadn't been robbed, and I still feel that way except for that one play. Because even though Manolete lost it in the final minutes, I didn't think the foul on Mastantuono was really a foul and so on. But I'm so pissed off with the team's performance that honestly, we're not getting anywhere. What are you saying? Unless there's a clear penalty, I don't blame the referee, but the same thing always happens to me. Then I watch the match, the replays of the match, and of course, how are you not going to get fooled if the broadcast doesn't show you the replay, right? Well, look at that now, I'm telling you. And I say that Muriqui in the 92nd, Levantos now in the 88th, 89th, very cruel, very cruel, very cruel. Although, well, it's a chronicle of a death foretold. I mean, Madrid wasn't going to challenge Barca for the league. And then I'll make a video about this, about the three leagues out of 4 years won by Madrid, Barca. Why are they going to win this one? Naturally, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. If they had told us this years ago, you wouldn't believe it. I mean, you just wouldn't believe it, considering where Madrid started from institutionally in sports with everything, man, and these guys bankrupt, cheating, all that. It's just a joke. Lately, I've started taking things as a joke because, look, it hurts me less that way. But anyway, I insist this action. Look, the dirty play is incredible. The dirty play is incredible, man. Look how he steps on him there and twists his foot. Of course, he didn't mean to. He didn't mean to. Okay, he didn't mean to, but he still does it. He still does it. Look, it's gotten to the point where even Estrada Fernandez said, come on, this is unbelievable. Making a joke there with, well, he said it in Catalan, but I think he's making some kind of artificial intelligence reference, right? Subsequent contact after playing the ball. Well, if we go here to the end, it says if the contact is an inevitable consequence of the play and there is no carelessness, recklessness, or excessive force, the action should be considered legal and the player should continue. If later contact with the opponent is deemed reckless, it should be penalized with a direct free kick and therefore a penalty if it's inside the area, plus a caution. If it is done with excessive force, it will be considered serious foul play and will be accompanied by a red card. And man, the action is reckless. Obviously, he almost broke his ankle. That's always a red card. For the reasons I explained at the beginning, I won't repeat myself, right? The VAR can never intervene there, and what the referee saw takes precedence. And also, what's unbelievable is that Busquets Ferrer is seeing the same thing he already saw on the field. And I say, come on, please, they should show us the audio later, because maybe Melero Lopez was telling him to reconsider. It doesn't seem that way to me. They do that often, and they shouldn't. The ones from the VR room. Busquets Ferrer, that man, because the league is full of scandalous things, of course. What happens here is that the VAR plays much better than we do, attacks much better than we do, of course. As for defending, I don't think that's the case anymore. The VAR defends poorly, but there are a few teams that can take advantage of that. Then they have much more desire to win the league than we do, of course. And that's fundamental. I would almost put that as the main reason why they're going to beat us to the league title, right? But there's also, well, no, the first one is this, right? The one where they play with a safety net. Why? That's what angers me. This season, like last, they've pulled several dirty tricks on us. But since the teams differ, if you complain, you just seem like a crybaby. But of course, we're not going to keep quiet about what we see, because this is the same referee who one day in Vallecas, back when there was no VAR, for about 20 minutes or something like that, or half an hour, I don't know how long it was. Well, where was the timeline here? For about 20 minutes or half an hour, he called this penalty, which was never a penalty, because the Rayo Vallecano player got ahead of Miñamal and he just let himself fall there, unfortunately, and the referee called the penalty. And he called the penalty. It's unbelievable, everything that has happened. The first match day against Mallorca, with Rayo on the ground, the referee with the whistle in his mouth. The other one scores a goal. The referee says, come on, let's go. That's what I expected, right? And a lot of things that have happened, like that time Koundé wasn't sent off against Real Sociedad, that goal specifically by Araujo leaning on a Real Sociedad player in that match, and so on and so on and so on. There have been a million, right? And today was, well, the straw that broke the camel's back. Look here, this is from Archivo VAR, because this is the other side of corruption, right? The media and social media side. Archivo VAR says, brave intervention by VAR at the Metropolitano. Gerard Martin makes a controlled clearance and in the process steps on Almada's ankle, steps, and just a little. I mean, for these people, surely, I don't remember if they said yes or no, but the stomp was Chouameni's on Lino, right? To the Atletico player, when he lifted his heel, he never stepped on him. That was a penalty. Anyway, well, here, he steps on him a little, right? Which invades his area of influence, but it's not a straight red, right? See, they say it's not a straight red, and the referee was right to take it away. And here, one day when they made a mistake, and this time it went in Rayo Vallecano's favor, because Patesis did the same thing, absolutely the same thing. He's touching the ball here in a match. I don't remember who it was against Elche, I think. He's touching the ball and then steps on the Elche player, and they say that was a straight red, and that the referee spared this African player from Rayo from being sent off. Unbelievable. For the VAR archive, the same play is called one way in one case and not in another, just so you see, right? What we always say about the other side of corruption. If we also compare it with what happened in the last match day with Valverde, it turns out this was an unbelievable red card. This was a straight red card, and this is not a straight red card. It's unbelievable how rigged this league is. Check out this stat from Maquetolari after Nico Gonzalez was sent off, but Gerard Martinez wasn't. The Barca player in the Atletico de Madrid versus Barcelona match. The balance, oh, my nose itches, damn. The balance of red cards in the league in the 21st century is as follows. FC Barcelona plus 69. Real Madrid plus 1. Well, and plus 1. Not long ago, we were at minus 1. Hey, Espanyol minus 15. It's unbelievable. Espanyol minus 15, man. FC Barcelona plus 69, Real Madrid plus 1. They are the two teams that every year, along with Atletico de Madrid from time to time, hey, Atleti is only at plus 3, are fighting for the league every year in the Spanish league. Barca plus 69, red card balance in the 21st century, Real Madrid plus 1. This is obviously very normal. It's not. It's not very normal. Well, let's go with what we were talking about regarding this action. Okay, this is the action. I was shocked by this one. I mean, honestly, I'm just whatever. Well, besides, Manoletti ended up going crazy. I mean, in that play where there was no offside by Thiago in the 94th minute around here, they hadn't scored a goal against us yet, right? Anyway, there was a corner that wasn't called. There's a play where it's not a handball by Thiago. That's right, by Thiago. And well, besides, it's not even a foul or anything like that. There's also a foul on Camavinga on the left wing that he doesn't call, and it wasn't even a foul. He just loses it here. Well, he loses it. I think it's just the usual, right? They're well coached. He knew what he was doing. And he screws us over there in a series of plays that, well, I insist I can live with them, even though they're annoying, of course. But that's not why we lost in Mallorca. We would have lost anyway because we're a mess, and because in the league, these guys, I mean, you looked at the faces of the Real Madrid players and you say these guys don't want to win the league. It's hard to believe they're losing the league then, right? We knew by night's end we'd be 7 points behind if we didn't win. But this is what I'm telling you happens in the 3rd minute. Look where the referee is, Mbappe left wing, and it hits Pablo Torre, I think it was, here on the hand, look. And Manolete is here. Now, but why doesn't Mbappe protest afterwards? That's what I can't understand. Look, I'll show it. Just wait a second while I put it on. You know the league. They're unreal. I'll show it quickly. Watch. It hits his hand perfectly. Here, bam. And Manolete is watching, especially because of how the ball is cleared. That ball goes out for a corner, and if it hits the chest, it bounces differently. The rebound is different. Since it hits the arm, the ball then goes out in a kind of irregular way. A very clear handball. A very clear handball that blocked across with the arm raised. Well, you know, the referee was right in front. VAR didn't call him, and the broadcast didn't show any replays. Well, that's it. With this dirty trick and the one from tonight, the match day's been fixed. That's what they wanted. They knew exactly what they were doing. Anyway, later we'll go hard on Madrid on the football side of things because, oh my goodness. But anyway, we had to talk about the referee stuff that we knew was going to happen. Hope you all do well. Like, subscribe, comment, and share if you enjoyed the video. See you next time. What a match day.